Man, this look, hey, it might look alright, man. I don't know, man. I'm not used to going live and stuff like that, man. So y'all bear with your boy, man, and uh, and definitely don't hold me to the higher standard as some of these other people out here, man. Cause this is your boy's first time going live. Uh, I figured that it's probably something that I should do a lot more often, but nevertheless, man, we gonna keep it rolling, man. I just wanted to hop on her. Let me start by formally introducing myself. For those who don't know, it's your boy, Majah Vernon, Ja, aka Mr. Money Man, aka I do real estate, aka I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I like to always start my stuff like that, man, because if we speak it into existence, it has nothing to, it can't do nothing else but manifest itself, man. So, uh, I love real estate, man. I love being an entrepreneur first and foremost, and you know, uh, and I call myself the money man, man, because both of those things is what can definitely generate wealth. So that's what this is all about, man. This is what this is all about. But nevertheless, man, it's your boy, and thank y'all for joining, coming in. But for those who don't know, man, you don't know anything about this channel. What I like to do is I like to talk real estate. Talk real estate. I do real estate. Been doing real estate for about little over. Um, I got started in real estate 2008, man. Right at the end of 2008, done my first wholesale deal in 2009. So as you can tell, if anybody's unfamiliar, um, that was a very trying time when it came to the real estate market. But this channel, this is what we do, man. We talk real estate, we talk entrepreneurship, we talk business, we talk about getting our money right. So uh, I'll be the first to say I don't have all the information, but all I have is my experiences, and my experiences and me being a information junkie. I love gathering the data, applying the data, and seeing what can actually come from it. Um, now, I'm just like anyone else. I come with faults, man. But for those who don't know, that's what this channel is about. It's about real estate. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about business credit, anything that have to do with succeeding, changing the mindset, elevating our standards. This is what this channel is about. So if you on the other side, man, and you finding anything useful about what this channel provide, man, the best thing you can do is definitely subscribe, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. That I'm learning the whole YouTube thing, man. I've been doing it for a little while. I kind of got away from it, but it definitely helps. So I try to utilize and provide this information that I've gained over the years, and hopefully it can help someone. Well, it has helped someone, but hopefully it can help others to not only change the mindset, man, but change the curses that so many people from the communities that we come from, or where I come from, go through. So first and foremost, man, the first thing we have to do on this path of changing that is to to gaining that generational wealth. The first thing we have to do is definitely we have to change our mindset. So with that, you know, you can only change your mindset by taking yourself out of the situations that you've been accustomed to, and employing yourself into uh, new trains of thought, new arenas, new circles, and in the process of doing that, you're gonna have many uncomfortable days. So I've done it, put myself in very compromising positions to where I might be the only African American black person in the room, especially in my age bracket. But I was hungry for knowledge. I was hungry for change, and um, I just had a bigger destiny for me and my family. So um, that's where you start at. You start by changing the mind. You know, And that right there, breaking those barriers is going to be the hardest thing because look, man, depending on what age you is, and this channel is for all ages, all ages. One of my best students was probably, um, I would say, 10 years older than me, my first real student partner. Uh, but then my best mentee was probably almost 10 years younger than me. So uh, I've reached all age demographics, in this journey, man. So I can relate to all genres, to all people. And one thing about it, business has no boundary. Hopefully, and in your business, you shouldn't have no boundary. So I relate to everybody. I take you for how you bring it. Uh, if we got to get on some different level type of stuff, hey man, that's where we come from. But when we know our background, our surroundings, but also, we trying to remove ourselves from those type of um, environments. So we do we try to socialize with those in different places. So but yeah, man, today is just a Saturday, man. We're kicking it at the office, man. I really came in to get some calls and stuff out, And as I was here, man, I started just, pushing the record button on the phone. And I was like, man, there's nothing better to do right now than to go live. I kind of was rolling with the whole concept I was on. And I want to build up the community, man. So whoever's on her, if you're after hour or you're seeing it at a different time, man, definitely share this with somebody. You never know. It might not be for you, but it could be for somebody who you know. We all have different people that we gravitate to, different people that we can relate with. Uh, and I know in the environment where I come from, uh, it's only a couple different people that we gravitate to, and 9 times out of 10, that lifestyle would probably lead us down a path of incarceration or the graveyard. So share this with a youngster, man. Share this with somebody. Make them sit down and watch it, man. It doesn't even matter. You know, put this in somebody's ear who just need a positive message, man. Like, look, I'm that person. Like my story is like a lot of people's out here, and you got to understand that change is not inevitable. It can happen, and uh, you know when you have a nothing to lose mindset, then those where the greatest champions are born. So. Uh, that's all I talk, man. I stay with the uplifting, the inspirational, the entrepreneurship, and how I do that is talking about stuff that I do, man. And I'll be the first one to tell you, like, change is a very, very tough thing to do, but you got to have some accountability partners, you know. And the ones that hold you accountable, man, you gotta surround yourself with them as much as you can. Um, but then you also gotta have some people that actually um, can guide you along without hitting all the pitfalls. You can jump out there and learn, but if you seek, they say what the teacher appears when the student is ready. You know, don't be like me because like I went out seeking. Um, But I spent a lot of money, man. I spent a lot. Pretty much when I got started, I spent every penny that I made. I went to all the free shit. Anything that was free, I was in there. You know, I was in there trying to, hey, with my notepads and my, whatever the little free little handouts they give you, the pens and the pads, and you know, and this was back when it was Flip This House on HGTV. There was the Armandos and the can't think of the other the Ty the Than Merle and stuff like that. This for the older people, on the channel. This is my era. But I consumed it all, man. I went to all the different networking events, the Rich Dad Poor Dad events, until until I was able to actually pay for a Trump University. That was the actual big ticket item that I actually, as far as training, that I actually spent money in. And what it did was, and actually, and this is, I went to this in, I want to say maybe 2012, or it had to be 2012, 2013. But I got started in 2008, did my first deal 2009. But when I went to this Trump University 3-day event, I think I paid $1,500 or something like that, 2015, 2000, 2,500, something like that, for this event. And out of, I think it was maybe 75 to maybe 100 people in the room. Um, I'm pretty sure I was probably one of the younger, on the younger side. Um, I was maybe one of 3 people who actually had even done a transaction in real estate. So it was pretty cool. Everybody was there. Some was seeking and been in the business and kind of left the business and things like that. But actually done a deal was the thing that I was one of few who was actually there who done it. So um, that was just something that definitely gave you the inspiration that, okay, now you definitely got to be doing something right if you're here with a group of people who are paying for this training, who are still learning, who are still seeking to get their first deal. So, but I learned a lot from that particular course. I don't know, some people didn't, in the whole university thing. Hey, they sent you a refund several years later, after the whole lawsuit and stuff like that. That's something else. But it did a lot for me, man, because it gave you a lot of creative methods, and for me, I'm one who, okay, if I get the knowledge and I get the information, then I want to take it back, process it, and see where I can pick up other clues from other sources to corroborate with that whole theme. I don't need to call you every second of the day or this and that to I want to go back and process it and then do my own research and due diligence to add to that. So when I do come back with a question, I have I have a understanding about it. So uh, and I that definitely opened the door for different ways that I went about doing real estate. Because it gave me the creativity to understand different techniques. But I was creative in the beginning, man. I was talking to one of my guys earlier today and just giving them a breakdown, like a couple of my first deals. My first couple wholesales, I did a video when I first got and started into it. But following up after I did those few deals, a couple of my first couple deals were I literally bought these houses, no money out of my pocket. Literally, the only thing I had invested into this was my time and effort to pick up the phone and make the call. But my first couple deals, well, I won't say my first couple deals, but in this particular situation, um, I had done several wholesale deals, so this was still in the beginning. I want to say I did my first deal in '09, so this was the following year, 2010. And I actually met a gentleman, and back then, like, it was foreclosures everywhere. People wasn't paying this, wasn't paying that, and I was trucking away at it. I was breaking ground and things like that. My first year, I think I probably done maybe 25 to 30. After I broke that barrier, after I did my first deal, I think I went out and I probably 20, maybe 25 deals that first year. Um, and that was few here in between. And one thing about me, I was still in the learning stage, but I wasn't greedy. So when I met up with people and the numbers just made sense for me to get rid of a property, I was okay with walking away with a $500 check. Because one thing I knew, we was in a recession. So uh, one thing, one of the guys I listen to, Brother Polite, current event, current situations, and calculations, and just thinking about, I would, if I made $500 for a property that I had nothing but a few hours of my time invested in, at the end of the day, this was all I could get, I would take that check. So don't be just thinking that, you see people all over the net saying, 30,000 here, 50,000 here. Like you gotta understand, uh, those checks do happen. I've had my first share of them. But then there's gonna be checks where it's 1,500. There's gonna be checks where it's 500. You know, it's gonna be $2,000 checks. So don't just get caught up in I gotta knock a home run. And one thing in the Trump thing, they classified them as single, doubles, triples, and home runs. Anything over 40 grand was a home run. I've had my first share of home runs, so uh, don't don't think it's not possible. But you know, in the those first that these particular deals, as I was saying, I was speaking to one of my guys and just telling them how I acquired some properties that was literally no money out of my pocket. Uh, and back then, it was how do I market? Where do I look for deals and things like that? And this particular guy I found in the regular um, newspaper. I had a habit of searching every type of classifieds, and like we're talking 2009. So I didn't even have. This is how far away from any type of internet theme I was at this particular time when I got started. I didn't even have an email. I didn't have a Facebook page. I didn't have any of these things when I got started into real estate. I don't know if Facebook might have had just came out. Like I said, this was 08, 09. So I didn't even have an email. I literally used my father's email as I started my real estate journey. What kind of shit is that? Like, I didn't even have an email. We're talking 2008, 2009. So I was just so far away from any type of structured, um, interactions online, man. It just wasn't there. So, like when I say I literally had no real estate experience or anything, I didn't. Only way I stumbled upon real estate because I was doing the research to for grants and SBA loans to go out and get a loan for our automotive company we had at the time. I was looking to take that over, so I was doing research on grants and stuff like that. I actually wrote out my own business plan, man. And this is when I say the research. Now, most people can't comprehend like um, spending the time investing or wondering why you're doing certain things. You know, like take everything that's I tell my anybody like take everything you do serious, man. Like literally, it's something to learn from everything. You might be a chef now, but you might want to run your own business in the future. So, man, take that shit serious. Like if you're gonna be back here slaving 9 to 5, look to bring some value and look to bring some value to yourself. Most importantly, hey man, how much does a meat cost? Like you just go in and you just want to clock in and you just want to get your check. That's the only thing you care about. Getting your 40 hours and getting your check at the end of the day when you working for somebody who's actually figured out the blueprint to actually hire your ass. So come in and actually, take what you're doing with another level of whatever inspiration or whatever, take it seriously because you just never know which direction your life is going. So uh, study. You know, I wrote our whole business plan like that. That was something that was. I mean, I researched everything from the market data to the analytics of it. I mean, the rate. I wrote this thing, man, like you would think that a professional writer would probably craft. So um, I know my quality is down, man, but hey, I'm just using the laptop, man. Like I say, this is my first live, man. So uh, hey, as I grow and build this, man, I got to get the latest tools. I don't know how people do these type of things. This is something new for me, but just I'm not going to stop because of the quality of the the camera or anything like that. Like I just feel like, man, God put me here to use me as a tool to get to other people, man. My life has been nothing but uh, a blessing, man, because from where I come from, so uh, yeah, but I took the time and wrote that, man, and that was probably one of the, I mean, late hours of the night, like all the things that you that let you know you dedicated to something. I did it in that early stage, and this was even before real estate. So, but like I was saying, man, I didn't even have an email address, so um, I found this guy through the classified ads, and he literally wanted nothing to do with these properties. He had an ad out, and I don't even know if it was for rent or if it was for sale. I really can't remember, but I just threw it out there. Like I was used to, I had wholesale some deals, made the quick bucks or whatever. This was the first. I got two properties from this guy, man. Check this out. This is some crazy shit. Like I got two properties from this guy. Now, I like I said, you put yourself in very uncomfortable situations. Was I prepared? I was prepared enough to do it, but did I know the inner outings and inner workings of what was to take place? I knew the concept, and I knew I wanted to get these properties. That's all I knew, man. So it was crazy, but uh, I met the guy at the house. The houses was vacant, and and I wasn't, I had made some money in real estate, but like, starting out like that shit just like water, man. You make them checks and them checks going right back out, so it's not like it was like I was sitting on 100 grand over her. I had probably done, like I said, 15, 20 deals or so, but you coming from literally nothing to doing that. So it's making up for all the bills you behind and all that shit. So I understand when I tell you, like, hey, spend your money accordingly, invest it back in your business, all of that is very relevant. But I would never tell you quit your job. So this is something where if you start now, you got a job, you know, when they like tie your camel, man. Don't wait till you get to that point to where you can replace your job and then you move forward with so. But I took that jump, man. I was out there. I had I still was running our auto repair shop, but I was real estate. But I wasn't prepared. I went to the appointment just like any other appointment I had prior to the, I had my standard contracts that I use, so on and so forth. But, this guy was so, for what he was asking for the property, my offer did not make no sense to him. But he was an old, tired landlord, tired. And uh, I'm not sure if um, I had to offer it, but I literally, we crafted up a deal to where he just wanted to be done. He just wanted to make sure that he had a check in 30 days to make that mortgage payment that he owed. You know, so he literally, we did a contract for deed for two, not one, two houses, two houses, man. Uh, I didn't put a dime out of my pocket. This guy literally, we signed the contracts, had them notarized, and literally had a contract for deed where I became the owner of this property. Just and contract for deed meaning I'll give you a contract for deed with the terms and everything specified out on the property, how much you're willing to pay for, how much monthly payment, interest, things like that. It's a contract, like typically you would say a deed of trust, but this is a contract for deed, meaning the terms of that contract specify how you will receive the deed. So, but I was the owner of two properties that I literally had no money out of my pocket for. This guy, we went through it and uh, got everything drafted up, and I was the owner of my first two uh, properties. So that was something that was very it was crazy, man, because here it is. I never owned well, I had my own personal residence at the time, but never had I had a investment property. And now this guy just literally signed over two houses that he had. Um, well, actually, and what happened was he signed me over one of them, and he had mentioned another property, and that property still had the tenants in it, but the tenants wasn't paying. So, as his way of not dealing with the headache of going through eviction court and things like that, he told me about the property, and it was probably maybe like several days later. He mentioned it when we were signing this first one, but he called me out like, "Hey, man, you want to take? The people don't want to get out. You have to deal with all that." But I guess my demeanor gave him the assumption that I wouldn't have a problem getting the people out the property, which they worked with me. Nevertheless, he ended up signing me over that property as well. It was probably a week after we did the first one. No money out of my pocket, none. Uh, so when I speak on no money down techniques, man, it's not something that these fly by night type of people talk about. I've literally done that. I've done it many of times. Now, what I will say, because on one of my last videos, I mentioned this. Uh, is it common? It's common, but you have to understand what no money down mean. It doesn't mean that you're going to create a business with no money down. You know, tell me what business that'll succeed with no budget expenses or anything like that. So when we talk about no money down, like you got to pay for gas, you got to pay for supplies, you need paper, contract, pens, business cards if you want to use them. Uh, But the concept in itself, no money down techniques, this is where creative real estate meets a creative mind. You can draft a contract up as best as you see fit that everybody would agree to. So um, that's just it's in the eye of the person that's willing to accept it. So but you have to understand that how can I structure these type of deals? Uh, is wholesaling technically a no money down situation? No, it's not. So you can just kill that theory if you're thinking that wholesaling means you're going to be considered a no money down expert. I don't look at it like that. I gave you a very vivid scenario where I literally received the house no money down. Uh, Another technique where people talk about no money down is um, subject twos. Now, you might not understand what a subject two is. Subject two is essentially just meaning you're taking over someone else loan that they have over that they have on a property, whether it's land, single family, multifamily, commercial, or so on and so forth. Um, Subject to you're taking over the mortgage payments subject to the underlying mortgage, meaning I'm not going to go out and get a new loan for this. I'm going to make your payments until this loan is either paid off, refinanced, or Worst case scenario, the bank get the house back or you get the house back. And one may ask, like, well, why would a person just give you their house subject to? Um, Same reason why this guy would just sign over the deeds to his property. Tired, don't want to deal with it anymore. Can't make the payments. Loss of job, second home. Um, Many of reasons, why a person would sign over their property. So to me, it's a big difference when it comes to speaking on no money down techniques. It's only a few that are actually real relevant. One being uh, you being super creative in the way you structure the deals, and then also understanding like subject twos and those type of methods. I've done them. I don't do as heavy subject twos right now, but it's definitely a technique that uh, my student, some of the people that I've worked with, have utilized. I've utilized, and to me, it's the only true form of a no money down um, technique. To me, wholesaling is not considered no money down. Um, Wholesaling is just wholesaling, meaning uh, I got a property at this price, I can sell it at this price. That's a wholesale transaction. So yeah, man, it's quite, and like I say, with these lives and stuff like this, man, I'm not as um something that's very new to me, man. I mean, obviously, it's not, you know, uh, rolling. It's not a whole lot of engagement, but hopefully, as a community, continue to build. I build these videos, build this platform, man. We'll have a whole lot of more interaction, but uh, also, just understanding the journey that these type of what real estate can do for your family, man, and not only your family, but for the people that uh, I know it was something we was looking at um, that I came across, and also that I actually put out myself. Where do you know how many people that real estate actually feeds? Just one particular property, how many people actually eats off of that one particular purchase, rehab, and sale. Uh, Man, I think somebody done the numbers, and there was like 100 different, people who actually benefits from just one fix and flip. Now that's some staggering shit. Now you might only made yourself, you know, $20,000 or $30,000 off of this particular flip or whatever. But in the process of doing it, the different people that actually was able to feed their families and generate some more income for their own businesses is just it's literally amazing, man. So uh, when you think about it on that level, man, you can see why the why is super. If you're not looking to reach 1 million people or help 1 million people, then uh, I think you're still in a uh, and that's what our goal should be, man, as entrepreneurs, man. Like, I don't want to create something that is not going to affect millions of people. Like, maybe in the beginning, like as you evolve and you get better and better and better and better, those goals should just, man, 10x. Like, I mean, just you know, out there, I mean, just far fetched, man. Like, you got to put them out there, because once you begin to dissect and really understand um, the processes of business and things like that, then you know what I'm saying. You understand the feeling that a product, water in itself, goes to millions of people around the world. You know, The computer, the computer industry, the person that actually created the camera lens, inside the laptop. How many of these did this person like? It's millions of these sold worldwide. So if you don't think that you can actually affect 1 million people, you thinking too small, man. You thinking too small. Like real life, you thinking small if you do not believe that in your journey, if you're on a journey for progression. Now, if you just a stagnant mug, and you just like, I'm content with making my $50,000-$60,000 a year, going to punch the time clock, then obviously you're not thinking on that level. But then, like I say, this is an entrepreneurial channel. This is an entrepreneurship channel. We're talking business, life, pushing the limits. That's what we talk here, man. So when you think on that level, sky is the limit. Sky's the limit, man. Like it's the best feeling, man, because you don't want to become stagnant with the process of just gaining the information. Like, you might have to take a season out. Take a season out. You don't process, you don't process, you don't build it together, you don't put together the plans. Now you know, take the time to, get yourself together, but then, we need action. We need action. So um, I've done real estate, like I said, for over 10 years, man. I haven't seen the level of success that I know I can achieve doing it. Uh, 6, 7 figures is easily, uh, attainable at the very minimalist. You know, so just knowing that I can do this 10 times over with just knowledge that acquired her in the last 6, 7 months during Corona, man. Like it's like for some people, this probably has been the worst of times, and it's been the worst of time for all of us. My business took a big ass hit. Like I enter the year saying I'm gonna do 60 rehabs this year. I'll probably only do 20, 15, 20. Uh, so wholesale, I entered wanting to do uh, think I probably wrote, on my goals, maybe 50 to 100 wholesale deals. Probably did half of that, So I took a backseat just like any other business out here. I'm not gonna sit here brag and boast and be like, hey, my company just flourished and this and that. But one thing I realized was the levels that I picked up in other uh, fields, and I did my Friday night reflection video, man. Like it speaks on a whole lot of this because business took a hit, but shit, I gained so much insight, man, into some of the passions that's within, the passions that's within, and we actually, got a chance to bring that out. Oh man, it's beautiful, So I hope, man. I hope. I mean, I don't even know if y'all can even hear me on her, man. That's just how crazy it is because I never done it. I don't even know what the hell to look for, but nevertheless, I hope that's not the case, man. I hope that is not the case where you can't even hear me. I see this little green thing down here, but hell, it ain't moving. So, man, I don't know if you can even hear me. But hey, I guess you like it moved a little bit. So hopefully y'all can hear me, man, and I ain't just rambled on for the last, half hour and nobody's heard anything. Like this video is live, so uh man, if depending on where you at, man, uh whether it's now or in the future when you hopefully come across this video, man, just drop where you at in your city, just drop what city you in, man. And I mean obviously this video pretty lengthy, but uh just felt like talking about a little real estate, man, a little bit of my journey, man. And when I say I want to put together, I'm hands on, man, and I'm not as structured as some of these people that want to make a person pay all this money for this, type of. I give these videos, man. You can literally take these videos and apply. the things that we talk about and go out and get a deal. I have nothing to sell you. The little links I put in my videos, that shit might, if you click on it, it might generate something, but for the most part, I just started doing that. Like I don't have nothing to sell nobody. But one thing I realize is the value is there. I will have something to sell you, don't get me wrong, but I don't have nothing to sell you right now. Uh, you supporting this cause, supporting this channel, and helping me build it is all I request. And if you get any knowledge or any information from what it is that we're talking about, man, just let somebody else know. Click over and share it with somebody who, man, it don't cost nothing to share it. And one thing I like looking at, like I see a lot of other people who speak and do the videos, and it gives you the inspiration that, like, I've actually do this. This is what I do. So um, it's people out here who definitely needs the knowledge and the education. If a person can just push a record button and just share someone else's video, and that brings them success for their own personal gain, then that's one thing. I actually do this to provide the insight for the person who's directly going to use it. It's not for someone else to capitalize off of, but the person is intended to. So uh, so my request to you is share this with somebody, man. It doesn't matter. Post it on your own shit. Share it because uh, different people relate to different people, man. Like we relate to the people that we vibe with, and depending on what frequency you on, it doesn't matter. Urban America, corporate America, rural America. Like it doesn't matter, man. Like yeah, you see me with my dreads and my J, but I've tried all uh dress attires and things like that. I do what's comfortable for me. Now when it's time for me to go out and get that real money bag, I'll put on my button down and my I that's it's in the closet, nice pressed up, all that, so but don't nobody want to see, depending on what type of engagement we're talking about, you want to relate to a person, man, and that's hopefully, send this to somebody who can relate to it. Cause um, prison at 18, multiple felonies, drug convictions, gun charge, and uh, I've lived a life that most would probably shun down on. And now my partners are, you know, someone you wouldn't even think would partner with, but that goes as far as we can that's a whole nother, you got to understand that in order to enter certain doors, you got to be willing to make certain transactions and certain moves. So everything is strategic, man. Everything is strategic, is carefully thought out, planned, and uh in order to, you got to know that, in order to get into those circles, man, you got to pay your weight, so uh and that's why I talk about bringing value to those that if you can't you know provide mentorship or pay for mentorship or something like that, you got to find a way to provide value um, for the person, man. You got to find a way to do that, and uh, it comes back, man. It comes back in more ways than you would think, and it truly will change your life, man. And one thing about it, I love being an entrepreneur, man. I mean, with all honesty, it's something that not everybody is gets superly motivated about dissecting uh how to run a business. and being in business for themselves. But we are the best computer on the planet. So now if the hardware that I have downloaded has damaged my file, then okay, let me do a system reboot. Let me do a PC tune up, clean up, get that bad shit out, and let me start downloading the good, useful information, man. Let me start downloading that because our life is not, as long as we wake up in the morning, like our book is not closed yet, you know. So, and I just love the ability to have a conversation with a person, or to 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 be able to process the insight into new endeavors. Now, one thing about the journey, you got to realize that you gonna get dirty. Like, you just got to understand that you gonna get dirty in the journey, man. Like, it's no way. So I'm ready for the contact. Like, where's the contact? Because I know it's coming from somewhere. And if I know that, then my mind can process the the solution to that. I don't have to be a chemist to go out and put together a pharmaceutical company. But now, do the chemists need to be A1? Probably so. Like, I mean, it's like, look, I don't have to be the smartest person in that particular industry. Now, should you? I don't. I mean, depending on what field it is. But Henry Ford couldn't read and shit. He was, what was he equivalent to in the 20th century, or 21st century? What was his fortune amassed to? So, like, I'm just saying, man, like, we humans are the most advanced species. I mean, we have the process to go out and create, like no other species. So, look, remove the bad shit, man. Like, look, I understand, like, we grew up, we I understand how the culture makes it seem as though you have to stay in the same circles all your life, man. And that's just a false narrative, man. Like, you got to realize, like, when you want better, man, you just got to go out and seek it. And that's at all costs. This is your life, man. ET say that shit, and he said with such passion. ET, the hip hop preacher, like, this is your life, man. You got to realize this is your life. You don't get no do overs with this. There's no do overs. So why am I gonna settle for being in mediocre situations, when all I got to do is stop going over her? All I got to do is stop going over her and start going over her, and that can literally change the dynamics of my whole outcome of my fucking life. Like, so I mean, it's for some people, man, I guess it's harder for others, but we gonna talk about getting this money, man, getting this real estate, building businesses, establishing good credit. Like, one thing, I was also talking to my partner about, like, the whole credit game, man. Like, literally not knowing. Uh, I was one of those persons where credit didn't mean shit to me. It didn't mean nothing. Um, I went down the journey of feeling some of it in years ago, but I've cars, vehicles, everything I've owned, I've bought it cash. So that was just the life. Everything I did revolved around cash, man. So I could give a two curves about credit, but that was the and I guess it also had to do with religious beliefs and things like that. Um, so it's a few different things that make up some of the decisions that we believe in, and it's cultural, direct experiences, um, internal beliefs, you know, um, um, real life situations. So, for me, it was cash. Cash ruled everything about, around me. And when you come from the life that I was living, when nobody swiping no fucking credit cards, it was all cash. We about to quick flip, hustle gang, bang bang. Like, look, we gonna, you know, So it wasn't no, that's more now these days it's more common, with the passing of certain laws and stuff. Like, man, you couldn't walk in the store and swipe a card and get you 2 grams of purple haze or whatever, purple kush or whatever, but now it's possible. So, you know, even that has in a sense, evolved. But uh strictly cash, man. So but now understanding the narrative of what credit can do, not only personally, but for the business, as far as the business sense is concerned. Uh, and I think, Grant Cardone is somebody who I give praise, I give shouts, man, where shouts is due. So I do some name dropping, man, but it ain't, look, if it turned me on, man, like, hey, I'm a shout them out or whatever. So, um, but even the biggest companies utilize um, credit. You know, every big company goes out and you know seeking credit. So it just gives you a different insight as far as some of the things that if you want to stay small and stay humbled about exposure and things like that, then I guess in a sense you don't need it. But like I say, if you want to change a million people's life and change all of these things, you're gonna have to extend the hand, and in return you're gonna have to pay a little bit something for it. So that is a whole nother endeavor, man, where going out getting establishing business credit and things like that, it just loosens it gives you a head start, not as much as a head start, but it gives you um that extra boost that can help, so we're gonna be, a lot of that's going on, man. You know, and it is just it's a beautiful journey, man. And when you factor in and you utilize all of these different factors when it comes to building, because at the end of the day, what I'm talking about is enterprise building. I mean, this is a dynasty building, you know, and yeah, I mark my words, man. We riding out the later part of the 2020 uh, fourth quarter, but in due time, man, it will be um, uh, Vernon Enterprises, man. Vent Enterprises is gonna be like I can only say, man, but it's just the mindset changing to where you begin to understand these things, and now it just comes with the application of it. Like you have to go out and do it. So, this was just like breaking the ice, man, for this type of thing, man. Whoever rocked with me doing the whole thing, salute. Um, like I say, I plan on doing live chats, uh, maybe once. I'm gonna fit them into my schedule, man. I'm a at least once a week, and if I can implement twice a week, then I'm a definitely do that. But man, I've even took this. This is just I'm a Shark Tank. I'm a Shark Tank baby. I was bred off a Shark Tank. So uh, just understanding business, man. The opportunities that comes with the ability to create. So when it's met with action, that's what separates the talking from the doers, man. And one thing I say, and I just let it be known, like, man, look, you are writing your own book. Your book don't constitute what somebody else got going on. So don't get caught up in what somebody else is doing. Long as you know that your journey is meeting every expectation that you wanted to meet. Be be keep the fuel lit, but don't stray and get away from yourself because of what you see somebody else doing in the same field, man. Like, look, some people just bred different. Some people don't have morals, and like, you never know what that person is going through, or what. So I mean, you got to focus on yourself, man. Focus on yourself. Long as you are continuing to meet and exceed your expectations, continue writing your journey. Uh, like I say, I'm well over 10 uh, from document filing, but I'm 12, 12 years in, man. Um, I have done. I used to say 400, man. Like, I literally stopped. I just add 100 every so often. Like, I mean, if we averaging 30, 40, 50 deals a year, I was saying 400 3 4 years ago, 3 years ago for sure. Uh, you know, constitute between transactions, buying a property. If I get paid buying a property, to me, that constitutes as a deal. And then if I get paid when I sell the property, that also constitutes to me as a deal. Now, if I look at it in the case of that, I would say literally 1,000 transactions, literally over 1,000 transactions. That's between single family property, um, in any type of way you can structure a deal on the finances, whether it was JV or me just getting a deal sold for somebody. Like, I've done it hundreds upon hundreds of times. So, um, and just because my name wasn't on it, don't mean that I wasn't involved. So, but I do like providing hugs, man, and that's what I do. But, like, to give y'all a tip, man. Okay, we're gonna get back to some put some meat on the bone, man. Like, look, one thing about real estate, man, is it is a people's business. So you got to get yourself in the process of actually, you know, uh, different people have different methods, man. You got virtual wholesaling, you got, you know, uh, I mean, I guess it's just really wholesaling, and I would assume virtual wholesaling. I would, if you ever bought a property and you wasn't actually there to actually see it, it constitutes a virtual wholesaling. I done that in one of my first transactions in the early parts of it. Uh, and actually, the person that actually helped me sell the property, we rock out to this day. Very very cool. Uh, a lot of people that I started with, man, we still got relationships to this day because during this time we was all on this same journey, man. And that's the beauty about it. Like, when you see the success that people that you started with actually have, whether they ahead of you, behind you, but still the consistency factor, shit, man, we like Tim Duncan and you know Tony Parker, man. Like, we OG vets up in this, man. From when we started. We literally vets in this real estate field, man. And some of them, twos and fews, and then it's some, that's on to bigger and better, man. So, like I say, you if I compare myself to this one or to that one, then you would lose yourself trying to make that comparison. So stay on your own journey, man. But like I was saying, uh, just like form of marketing, you know. Uh, what can you do to get the phone ring and things like that? Bandit signs, man. Like, we got some bandit signs over here. Uh, you know, if you don't know, like, that link is actually in the description, man. Bandit signs, man. Boom, go put them out, man. We buy houses, all cash. Call now. Boom, and the number. That's it. Like, I always tell people, you know, uh, look, I will put these motherfuckers out to the sun come up. You know, on Friday nights, I would gas up the rod, literally every weekend. Every weekend, I did this faithfully for I know every bit of 5 years. And even to this day, I mean, I don't put out as much bandit signs as I used to, only because, um, man, I think you just evolve in the business. But I literally put these out every single weekend. Different numbers, different phone numbers, like different Google accounts. I've done like look, and I would always and this was what kept me fed, and this is what I tell anybody. 50 to 100 of these a week would definitely keep your bills paid. 50, 50, 50 to 100 of these a week will make sure your lights stay on. Now, so is that a no money down technique? Fuck no. So this is what I'm saying. When people get loose with the term no money down, it's a particular transaction they're talking about. It's not running the business. So uh, that right there, like I say, that kept me fed. And then I evolved into, well, I did this in the beginning as well, man. But between bandit signs and the bandit signs, there's a link in the bio, man, in the descriptions where you buy something from it, man. I might make a penny. So like, let's just get that out the way. But that's the only way I can try to get some, help my channel grow or something from it, man. But definitely the bandit signs, man. And this is the 24 by 18s. And what we used to do, man, I would actually put these out this size. Like I started out putting them out this size. And even prior to me actually just doing the plastic, like I used to literally go to a local little place and buy them. But I've bought them at Home Depot, the little ones at Home Depot, for sale by owner. Well, that's for sale signs. Uh, um, but any type of corrugated, I mean, I've seen people go as far as utilizing cardboard, man. Like it's but I bought mine. I ain't use no cardboard. I'm like, damn, if I can't invest in my business, like I don't need to be doing it. Uh, but I get it, man. You don't knock nobody. Like I mean, cause shit, at the end of the day, the message is on there, so it works. So start where you at, man. Start where you at, and realizing that you can get to where anybody else is at, has been, or will be. So start where you at, and this is a great tool. The bandit signs. Now you gotta realize that you might gonna get some lashback from them, but that comes with the territory. You're gonna be scared about somebody picking up your signs, calling you, talking shit. Don't put them here no more, or you're gonna actually go put the signs out and just know that next phone call could be somebody saying, "Hey, yes, I'm ready to sell. Can you give me 50,000 for it?" Well, okay, ma'am, can you give me the address? Okay, and what's your name? Is this a good number to call you back at? And then the conversation continues to go, and you actually get the house for 30,000, and you turn around and go sell it for 60,000 because it was just that good of a deal. Like those conversations will happen. So bandit sign, but then also, man, I mean, this is also another thing that I like using you know, that's a form of marketing. The direct mail is also another form of marketing, man. And the yellow letters, I mean, it never gets old, man. You know, People, with the innovation that's going on, technology, yes, it's always a better method. It's always a better method. Yes, Blockbuster got beat out by Netflix. I get it. I get it. I get it. Mail is not gonna stop happening. I don't give a dang like what nobody say. Mail, somebody gonna continue to knock on your door and stick an envelope in your mailbox. So therefore, these will always be relevant because uh, until they find another way to get uh, a form of communication to people indirectly that doesn't require face to face, mail will always be relevant. So And so will the yellow letters, postcards, all of that. That'll also be relevant. I'll be putting up one of those links as well, man. I do it all. I mean, I do I've done the postcards, and you see success from it, man. And like I was saying, as far as the list is concerned, and maybe that's why I even started the live video, man, because I was going into this conversation and I was like, look, man, let me just, while I'm sitting here to make a video, let me just go live. So I just jumped on her, not even knowing how this whole thing works. And I just dove in, man. So give your boy some credit. If you done made it to an hour and 5 minutes of listening to this, man, hopefully you see some jewels in it and you find some type of motivation to get up off you and let's get this real estate money. But nevertheless, uh, forms of marketing, man, and depending on your list, the postcards is a great way, and your actual letters, that also makes a difference because of what you can say in them. Who are you targeting? All of this plays a very important role when it comes to marketing. But one thing I believe to be true because I've seen it many times over, whether that be through cold calling or anything else, is very seldom do you get deals off of the first form of communication. So just know that. Just know that. Like ain't nobody just ain't for the cold call somebody and be like, well, hey, you know, you ready to sell and you just get that yes and the deal is just done. Typically, from my experience, man, and from many of people that I deal with, it typically takes 5 to 7 touches. 5 to 7 touches. Now, one thing that I used to like to talk about with my little team was how do we speed up the process of doing those 7 touches? Now, this is where strategy comes in when it comes to targeting areas. But and I guess for the most part that this would only work locally. You can do it probably in another demographics, but it would probably work best locally because of the moving pieces that's involved. Now I know there's companies out there that do band designs for you and things like that, but her, in your local region, you probably have a little bit more control over that. I don't know. I never pay anybody outside of family members and workers to do band designs for me, or I done them myself. So I don't know, but I heard there's companies out there. I never paid them, so I can't vouch for that. Uh, but when it takes understanding the process of how many touches it takes, 7 touches. So now this is a form of touching. So now it comes down to your specific list. What are you targeting? Are you going after foreclosures? Are you going after uh, divorce probates? Are you just like it's a wide variety of the form of type of properties that you can go after. So this is where you start with a big mindset. When you start with a big mindset, it'll begin to funnel down into a specific area that you will begin to find your niche in. For me, I started wide and I've engaged in plenty different methods. I gained a lot of my properties through other wholesalers. I just had a good way. I was straightforward, no bullshit. Like, look, this is what I can pay. This is what my company can pay. If you want to sell it to me, you ain't got to worry about the transaction I ever going through. I'm going to stand by everything that I put my fucking name on. So when you look at it like that, it was easy for me to build relationships strictly off of principles and morals. So networking was the best form for me to go out and acquire property. Now, that being said, I've probably it's a 50-50 balance, or it might be 60-40, 70-30. I'm not sure. Like I haven't just calculated it all up, but I'm just telling you. Uh, Now, so that comes to the type of property, So it's different types of properties and different methods. So, like I was explaining, you got the, probate, you got the, you know, all the different forms. So that's going to come down to how you target that person. So in your letters, or you might be door knocking. That's a form of touching. So if I'm targeting tax lien delinquents and probate properties or pre foreclosures, I might do a 10-day campaign where that's all I'm doing is going to do some door knocking. Done it. Been there, done that. It works. Face to face. So door knocking. Door knocking works. But that's a form of touch. Are you just gonna show up at somebody's house, knock on the door, and they be ready to sell you their house? When you get that luck of the draw, it's possible. It's possible. Does it always pan out? Most time it won't. So how do we get creative with our marketing technique and put strategy behind it? So this is where all the other tools come into play at. We have social media, a form of a touch. It's touch. It's a touch stir. We got direct marketing, postcards, letters. We have bandit signs, form of a touch. We got door knocking, form of a touch. We got geo targeting through social media, form of a touch. Newspaper, form of a touch. Classifieds. Radio ads, YouTube ads, Google ads. So all these are form of touches. So what would be a strategy that you say, Jay, with job? What type of strategy would you roll out if you was targeting a specific area? And this is why it's very important. Everybody's situation is going to be different, man. So I never try to bottle some shit up and put it in a bottle and, you ready to explode at the top, but then most of the people at the bottom. No, everybody's situation is different, man. There's no one set formula. So, I can just only give you the mindset and the concept, and then you determine where you're at in your availability, your financial situation, your time situation. Like all these things are very much important, man. It's not just a one-stop blueprint for success when it comes to real estate, wholesaling, or any business, man. This is business, period. So, what would I do? Let's say I wanted to target a specific zip code. Boom, I set up my campaign for that zip code. For that particular zip code, what we're going to do. Okay, if we're doing pre-foreclosure, so the strategy will be first week, we're going to go do some door knocking. We're going to target at least 100 houses within it in a certain region that's going through pre-foreclosure, tax liens, whatever the case may be. All right, boom, that's one touch. Okay, we're going to do a bandit sign campaign in the same neighborhood within a 10, a 5-mile radius. We're going to blast the whole area with, 200 bandit signs. Second form of touch. Third form of touch. We're going to do some direct mail. We're going to do some direct, if they're on your list, if they are in your list, in your database, all of these work. So you compile a list by what? Zip codes? So follow me here. So boom, we roll out the social media campaign. Okay, I want to target this particular zip code. Boom, 5-mile radius. Blast their ass with ads. Form of a touch. I think what's that? 3-4 touches. Bandit signs. We went door knocking first. Door knocking. We threw out some bandit signs. We sent them a direct mail letter. We hit them on Facebook, or we hit the zip code, and we geo targeted the zip code. All right. What's the fifth? Bandit signs, door knocking. Now the other few, but within those four, how many touches will each one of those provide? You can't leave your house and hit the major highway without seeing my sons. That's a touch twice a day. Home, leaving home on the way back home. We also hit you with the letter. So that's something you either look at it once, throw it away. That one touch gone. Social media, retargeting, boom, I'm just target that area. How many times will you see the same ad? So like I'm saying, man, like it's no shortcut. Everybody's situation is different, but if you'll jump out there and you'll hit that luck, that that quick hit, but understanding all the other ways to generate the deal and be prepared for them, man. Be prepared for them because if you think that the deals just come super easy without any effort, I mean, hey, I'm all about what is it? The secret, you just believe it and it happened. Like, um, damn, words slip my mind right now, but you know, you just think it and it magically happens, affirmations. Like, yeah, I'm all about affirmation, but let me put a little another level of surety behind my shit. Like, I know that there's a far great chance that if I just think I'm gonna get a deal, it's probably not gonna happen. So let me put some effort behind it. So all of these different things, man, is definitely great tools. When it comes to no money down, man, that only applies to certain particular type of uh, properties that you can actually utilize those methods on. To me, a wholesale deal is not a no money down technique. It's only a quick transaction. It's a transaction to me. Uh, and typically it will involve some form of money. Now, in the technique itself, no money down, that's more so a specific type of uh, term set out between yourself and the person you're doing the contract with, and they do happen, um, and it's possible. So we know that we've explored a couple different scenarios, man. But one thing about it, without the effort, without the mindset, without the dedication, man, the dedication, all it is just uh, information for you to, listen to and do nothing with. You know, you can provide the information, but it's up to the person to actually apply it and make it relevant. So, uh, man, I'm gonna give it to y'all. I got another class I'm about to jump into, man. And like that's me. Like, man, look, my days used to be filled with long nights and liquor and clubbing and things like that. But that's been a long, long time ago, man. Now my days are filled with you know long days, more studying and applying the knowledge in different fields to where I'm studying something different probably 2 or 3 times out of the day. Like I mean, that's just to me that's okay. Uh, I don't want to be the fly by night who knows it all, but I want to be real versed in a couple different arenas, especially those that I look to actually engage in business in. It's cool to just scroll and uh, watch this, watch that, log cabins and shit like that. I'm not gonna go build no log cabins, but it's interesting to see the form and how to build it and stuff like that. So uh I got somebody here who say, what do you say when you go door knocking? The same thing you would as if a cold call. Well, it depends on the particular property. Like in that, I guess that all comes down to the type of property you're targeting. I would only go door knocking. I haven't personally went door knocking just on a dry list. Only time I go door knocking is if I'm targeting pre foreclosures, tax delinquent properties, and with those, there's a certain way I would approach the situation. Like, hey, I know it might, who I am, my company, so on and so forth, and just try to enlighten them. Are they aware of the situation with the property? So Mr. Seller, knock on the door, boom, 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 come to the door. Well, hey, this is Jay, man. This is, if I'm with somebody, and just wanted to reach out and see is, whoever I'm looking for, first and foremost, are they there? And if it's them, then, well, as I said, I'm who I am, and just wanted to see if you knew about the situation with the property. Are you familiar? Because what you will find is a lot of times people don't know, man. I've ran into situations where people don't even know their property is going to the auction that next month. So you would be surprised when, and so that's an introduction into, maybe that next follow-up question. So are you familiar with the situation with the property? Have anyone notified you? 9 times out of 10, if it's a bank foreclosure, you got fucking stacks of attorney mail and all this different stuff going on. So of course they'll be aware, but some people, it's harder to break that ice. So you just kind of try to do it. So it would be a different introduction, as just a regular cold call. Typically when I do just regular cold call, hey, this is Jay, man. I'm calling. I'm looking for such and such. You know, with cold calling, I'm trying to get straight to the point, man, because I got to get the phone calls out. Like I don't have time to sit back and play with you with like it's straight to the point. Like, hey, such and such, this use da da da. Kind of the same introduction, but have you thought about selling the property? We're looking for properties in your area. Just trying to see if you thought about it. Are you open to an offer on your property? Boom, yes, no. We thought about it. Well, okay, and then this when you go with your follow up. Other than that, it's a total different script. So hopefully that answered the question. Good question, man. I definitely appreciate that because a lot of times the list determines the conversation you're going after. So that's all, and that would also apply back to the the marketing that you're doing. The strategicness of the market. And when you're starting out, man, like if you don't have a budget, then your interactions is going to be different than a person that says, I'm working. I got, uh, $1,000 I can allocate to start my real estate business. $1,000, that's you know how many bandit signs? I mean, what the dollar sum a piece? So you got bandit signs. You can handwrite. This is the beauty. Like you map it out, man. Like okay, so if I can handwrite, that's just literally postage. 200 letters. Every time I come home from work, I'm gonna write 20. At the end of the week, I have 100, 200 done. Boom. Okay, I push them out on a Saturday. They get there by Monday or Tuesday. Boom. That Friday, I've already put out my bandit signs. So you just chopping away at that little $1,000 that you have to start with. So you spend a couple $100 on some bandit signs. You spend 100. I just literally done it. I went and bought 200 stamps. $100 on some stamps, some envelopes and some notepads. 150 bucks at max, if that. Uh, and then you start getting those touches in. So it all depends, man. Everybody you got different situations, but if you have a little budget to start, that helps. But if not, I made a video called "The Poor Man's Hustle," man, to where you can literally sit in your living room and actually uh, utilize the internet. As long as you got an internet connection, I can show you how to get money doing real estate, man. Because with this information age, it's like it's impossible to say that you can't get a deal. Now, one thing I struggle with is I know these methods, man, and I've done them, I use them, and I kind of get away from it in my day-to-day interactions, only for the simple fact I got rehabs going, trying to engage with new businesses. I tried to do the little day trading shit, man. That took so much time. I like forget that. I'd rather invest long term, so but I'm gonna go back and just do another video to show the 30-day. I mean, the 5K and 30-day thing is still relevant to this day. And you pull all the information from local data sites to where um, you can literally invest with little to no. Only thing your time, gas a tank, and maybe some envelopes, man. So uh, for anybody who's starting out with some form of budget, you can definitely jump out there a lot quicker. But for the person with the initiative to keep going, man, you can definitely uh, make up for that lack of budget, with effort. So uh, appreciate that question, Indy. Me, KD, Indy with me, KD. Appreciate that question, man. Uh, like I say, man, like this is my first time doing live and all the, so the quality of all this might not look great. Like I say, I don't even know. I guess a thank you for replying because I don't even know the little green thing here at the bottom. I'm not with all the technology, man, but I've literally done the deals. I do deals on a regular basis, and this is what I do. I've been doing it. I've actually taught, trained, not in the form as in a classroom. Spoke at a couple different events, things like that, but I don't have something to sell you as far as telling you, hey, go buy my. That's coming. I'm an entrepreneur. But no, I just stick to facts and what I've actually done, man. You know, but man, if you can't be honest about the journey, man, then you're probably dealing with the wrong person, man. So if I ain't done it, I'm gonna tell you I ain't done it. Will I have a little bit of insight to give you on it? If I can speak on it and it be authentic from my soul, I'll probably speak on it. But if I have no idea, I just don't have no idea, man. I ain't gonna tell you something that I haven't done or I don't I haven't done or actually witnessed or something like that. It's not worth my that's way out of my character. So definitely gotta be honest, man. That's the only way I know how to be. Uh, definitely. So I will be following up with more of these lives, man. I'm gonna do one. I'm dedicating it to do either Friday nights or Saturdays. Sometime over between Friday and Sunday. I will be doing a live every single week. You know, uh, if y'all got some topics that y'all want to hit, man, just drop them in the comments, man. I would definitely appreciate a like, a share. You know, I've had the channel for some time. I just never really understood the value or building these type of platforms. So I'm trying to go back and just build a community, man. Because like ultimately at the end of the day, I get kicks out of helping people put deals together, man. That shit, like, I most people don't fuck with Trump, but when it come to real estate, I had every book that Donald Trump had, man, and the art of the deal. That's what I live and die for. Putting together deals, man. People just call me up and be like, "Hey, what you think about this deal, bro?" And I just give them to them. Like, this is where I would buy it at. Like, so that's all I can do. So, and my information is genuine, man. I never withhold information from nobody. I have nothing to sell you, so why would I withhold information? Uh, but I respect the person that said the game is to be sold and not told, man. I mean, hey, if you can get paid for it, you might as well. But uh, I'm definitely here uh, to reach out and to build, man. Like, and I look forward to other endeavors, man. Like, look, when a person comes to give me knowledge and education, like I'm not so stuck in the ways of my methods to where I'm not accepting of other terms. I listen to a lot of different real estate people and I pull useful information from whatever I anything I do, I look to get information from it. So I think that's how we should be as entrepreneurs. You know, uh, I think only a few selected few, Einstein and shit. You might say a, a I don't know who else you can compare it with to where they was at the top of the top, but I'm not now one of them people. So shit, if you got some good info, I'm pretty much rock with you, listen to you, and try to see if it's a way for me to implement it. My method is not the best method. I just give you my life experiences or things I've actually done. It's people who have scaled wholesaling to levels that I'm not fit for it, man. I don't want to run a 20, 30 person company. Like that shit doesn't work with my dynamic. So, you know, especially at the stage in my life where I was in, like it didn't fit in for me to go out and do that. That didn't mean I didn't go out and participate in networking events and network and help 20 people. I just don't need in-house, employees like that. So uh, for somebody who's actually And you got to think, man, and this is what I like talking about, because being an entrepreneur is really, you can expand, but this is why for any person in any job, and kind of a statement I made earlier is, it doesn't matter if you're a chef, man, or if you flipping burgers or whatever. You just like get all the information you can get from that particular experience. You know, take that shit and go and look, at least process it to where you can use it at a later time in life. Because you just never know. For me, I wasn't corporate bound or none of these different things, so it never resonated with me to build teams. We had small circles, and that's how we kept our circles. And outside of those circles, you weren't really just rocking with too many other different people. So, and even then, I'm not, some organized ring of this. So just understanding yourself, man, and understanding, how you operate. But now I'm to the point to where I'm going to the marketplace to help millions of people, man. And it's going to be not just through real estate. It's going to be through business. It's going to be through entrepreneurship, and just probably mentoring, man, because a lot of the people in these urban, a lot of the youngsters, man, they in these urban and in the places where I come from, they only get the glorified. They see the glory in a couple different fields. If you're not, rapping or athlete, you're looking at drug dealers, man, and that's not just the end of the line. I come from that, and I'm a successful business 10 years plus. You know, it's a lot of hard days in there, but at the end of the day, it gave me the opportunity, and it's given me the opportunity to go out and create other businesses. So, man, like I say, man, I'm about to hop off of here, man. I got another class I'm about to go in. I'm already a little late. So I appreciate whoever's been on here, man. I appreciate the support, man. Definitely please share this with somebody. It doesn't matter the age, the demographics, or whatever the case may be. Um, you know, I look to bring the value where the value can be added. If you feel as though you want a direct consultation, hit me up, man. My number is always open, 682-556-5821. Your boy, Majah Vernon. You know, some people call me Jay. It's either going to be Jay, Ja, or Majah, you know. But uh, this is what I do, man. You will forever see me talking some type of business. You don't know, I might be at your next best event. I don't know. I ain't with all that, but you just never know, man. But one thing that you will see me again. Like I say, we'll be doing this every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'll hopefully, you subscribe to the channel. That where, if you hit that notification button. See, all this shit is stuff I picked up from other people, man. I wouldn't be telling y'all to do all this, but I guess this is what you have to do in order to make the people aware. So if you can subscribe, hit the bell, turn on your notifications. That way, when your boy go live, man, you can get the news, the blues, and the clues to get your money right, man. It's your boy, Majah Vernon, J.K., Mr. Money Man, a.k.a. I do real estate, a.k.a. I'm an entrepreneur. Man, I'm about to go fill my brain with some good motivation, man. And I see y'all at the next one. Peace. Now I got to figure out how to cut this off.